welcome to FST. I'm Mrs. Landon, and I'm going to be your teacher for the entire year of this course. I wanted to take a moment here and again, welcome you to the course, but also to give you a quick overview of how the course is going to work. And students, we'll talk about this more in depth as we get going on in the first week of school. But parents out there, if you're curious what your students are going to have available to them, I really wanted to give you that insight. So let's actually talk about that. If we take a look at it, please do know we do use a graphing calculator in this class. The TI-83 Plus or higher is what we recommend. If you cannot get your hands on one of these, we do have a loaner program with the school. It's first come, first serve. We probably have about 20 or 30 calculators to loan out. So please talk to me about that the first week of school, and I can help you get a calculator, again, if you can't get your hands on one. But what I really want to talk about is how the course is going to work for a standard chapter and what the students are going to see and what, again, parents, you can expect. So it always starts out, we typically do about 2 chapters every quarter. So it's going to be 8 chapters for the whole year of learning. FST stands for Function, Stats, and Trigonometry. So we are a very circular course where we kind of bounce in between learning statistics and trigonometry and then about functions, and we kind of go back and forth a lot. So it's a really great course. For learning kind of all those different topics. And students have told me in the past that they felt that was really nice for ACT prep too. So hopefully the 10th graders will get you there, 11th graders will be taking that ACT this year. What you can see here though, a quick example, for chapter 1, it's going to list all the learning objectives of what we're going to teach. When you go into the chapter, what students are going to see is I've really tried to make this course feel like an online course for this purpose. If you're absent, if you maybe didn't pay attention enough in class and you weren't quite sure what we were talking about, you're going to have those resources online. So in particular, again, when students are absent, I find that they don't reach out to me that often because they can get everything that they need on the website. You're going to see here some pages where I kind of talk about the subjects. And I'm an incredibly organized individual. So what you're going to see is a folder for every day. It's going to say what the students are expected to do. Now, when you take a look at it, for example, when we start learning in chapter 1, the first section, it's going to talk about watch and listen to video notes. I'm the teacher here in the classroom, so that's going to be me. I'm going to actually teach the lesson. If they're absent, they would have those video notes to reference. Or if they want to hear the lecture again. If your student needs a little bit more focus for that math, they could also watch the video notes at a later time to kind of strengthen what we talked about in the class. And then it's going to talk about the homework that needs to be submitted. Now, when you go inside of a folder, just to let you know what the students will see, is again, I'm going to give kind of a type introduction of what the section is about. This is an overview of what we're going to be learning. So it's a really great quick reference for studying for a test. When the chapter 1 test comes up, I will reference these for the students to say, do you remember what we learned in section 1.1? Here's a quick view. So those are pretty handy for that. We do have a textbook. Most students don't take one, but you are more than welcome to. I have plenty to hand out. The material is also in a PDF format. So this right here is actually section 1.1 from our textbook. So it's right there. I also supply my completed notes. I know some students like to have those, and it's right there for you too. These are the video notes I was talking about. So again, I'm going to cover this in class. There's no need to watch these video notes ever unless you want that extra prep or are going to be absent. This right here is the homework that's going to be submitted. I like to use the green puzzle pieces. Most of the homework you're going to do in this class is all submitted online. But I love the online aspect because of the immediate grading, but I am a huge paper-based person. I am a math teacher. I like to see the work. So what you're going to find is I supply note packets for this class. And I will tell you, over the years of teaching this course, which I think this is my 15th year, this note packet has almost become a workbook, to be honest with you. It's going to have the note templates in there. I also have copied all this homework and have included it in the packet, just kind of as a backup for that technology. What if the internet's not working? What if you forgot your computer? We have the homework in the packet, so you can actually still do it then. And again, I like to show the work, so I encourage students to do the work in the packet. Then when they want to get it graded, they can submit it. Green puzzle pieces for daily homework can be submitted 3 times for their final score. So some students get the score they want the first time around, some don't. If on that second try you're not getting the score that you want, I really encourage students to reach out to me at that point in time and get the extra help that they need. Other times you will find, and you don't see it in this particular one, is a work upload, where students have to take a photo of their work and upload it, and I manually grade that. And that's really a standard kind of section of what they can expect. Now, how it flows is, let's say I teach that on a Monday. What students will then tend to see is, if I hop into this folder here, I like to do what's called a check your understanding. So the next day in class, we always go over homework questions. Whatever students have, we will address. After that, we'll try a check your understanding. Here's the great thing. These check your understandings are in that note packet. Again, I'm kind of building and making this workbook so students can have all of this stuff readily available to them, and they can use it for studying for later on too. So we'll do these check your understandings. After we do them in class, I do always have the solutions posted. So I like to have that information for the students. That's kind of a standard process of how one section would be. Here you're going to see here Kahoots. I really do enjoy using Kahoots in class. I tend to do Kahoots about once a week. I love them for reviews. If your student is absent for that Kahoot, it doesn't matter, because I also embed it in the online version. So here online, if they're absent, they can do the Kahoot and make up that work and get that extra practice if they are absent, or again, if they just want to kind of see the material for a second time. Now, if we scroll down here, the other few things I do want to highlight I think are very important. You're going to see here a deadline is going to pop up. I communicate deadlines to students. Students are going to have 2 deadlines per chapter at a minimum, typically a mid-chapter deadline and then when the test comes up. And what that means is this. If you go to the calendar and you see what's posted on Schoology, to me, that's the day it's assigned. The day it's assigned is what you see on the calendar. That next class day is kind of the due date. It's the recommended time when you should have it done. I like that due date because on a new section, I want to go over your questions tomorrow. So you should have tried the homework to do that. Now, can you do it after the due date? Yes. It's going to be the deadline. Things have to be submitted by the deadline. If they're not, it's 0 points in Skyward and you cannot make up those points. I communicate the deadlines. The deadlines are right here. So again, if your student says, well, I didn't know when it was due, it is. Here's the deadline. It's posted. It's right in front of them on Schoology. Okay, so those are important to know. The other thing, if I look here, I think it's good to highlight is, again, there's another deadline, by the way. Just kind of studying and doing some reviews. So I like to give some highlights. Like right here, we're getting ready for a chapter test. When I click into this, here's what I've done. All those little introductory pages that I've created for each section, I put them together in a kind of a one-stop shop for studying. And I go over this with the students. I highlight what we learned in the chapter and they can see this. So just really some nice quick summaries. Typically after we do that, the students are going to have a review assignment that they can work on. A lot of those review assignments might be some blue puzzle pieces, some green puzzle pieces. If I hop back here, I do want to show you this other type of review assignment I have, typically kind of a worksheet to practice. And in here, just scroll on down real quick. This is the worksheet. This worksheet, it's in their packet, but it's also online. What if you lose the packet? It's right here. You can also do that. Now, I do like for the students to have solutions. So again, here's going to be a solution to this section for the final chapter review. When you get to the very end of all of the sections being reviewed, I also have a video of me going through the entire worksheet. So I really like to teach to the different styles. So we'll go over questions in class on this, if that's kind of your student style. We have the PDF solutions, we have video solutions, lots of different options. The other thing I want to highlight really quick too is, like I mentioned earlier, ACT. I love doing ACT prep in this class. This class can have grades from 9 to 12. It varies. There's a strong number of 10th and 11th graders in this course, so I really do like to focus on ACT prep and try to do something once a week. So do know that your student is going to be exposed to that. That really is a chapter in terms of getting ready then for the test. All of our tests are paper-based. So the homework, again, is typically online. Tests are paper-based. The retakes, we do offer retakes if you've met the requirements. To retake a test in this class, the math department it very much has the same policy. The day of the original test, all of the formative work has to be submitted and completed on Schoology. If it's not, you forfeit your right to retake. Now, if you've submitted the homework, for this course, you need to have at least 70% proficient on each assignment. So you get those 3 tries on the homework. Shoot for at least 70%. I will tell you, most students in here are not content unless they have 100%. So that's very common for me to see that. But if those requirements have been met, then you can do the retake. Retakes, again, are the highest score you can get is 85% of the original test score. And those retakes will be administered during work time, or during win time, I'm sorry. And that itself, in a nutshell, is how a chapter would work. So that's my introduction for you. The last thing I want to wrap up with is communicating with me. I do like to do progress reports home, typically before a chapter wraps up. I'll send kind of where the students' grades are and some kind of updates of what you can expect when the test is coming up and when some deadlines are coming up. So maybe once a month, you'll get a progress report coming from FST. I do like to send emails every now and then too. If you like to email, I just want you to be careful on who you email to. I am Landon N. When students go on the system here at school, the first Landon that pops up is Landon D. That's my sister-in-law, and she rarely checks the email, and you cannot assume I get those. I'm Landon N as in Nicole, so just please be very careful if you do email. You are more than welcome to email me or give me a call if you have any questions. I am excited about this year of FST. Again, this is my 15th year. I really enjoy this course. I hope your students will too, and we'll do a lot of learning and get them ready for the year. And again, reach out if you need anything from me. It's nice to meet you, and see you later. Bye-bye.